Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we re-delving into a deeply unsettling case that unfolded in the late 1980s within the walls of a place meant for healing and care. This is the story of Gwendolyn Graham and Catherine Wood, two nursing aides whose actions at the Alpine Manor nursing home in Walker, Michigan, would leave a community in shock and forever change how we think about trust in caregivers. It all began in 1986 when Gwendolyn Graham started working at Alpine Manor. She was soon joined by Catherine Wood, and the two quickly formed an intense and inseparable bond. They were lovers, partners in their daily lives, and eventually partners in a series of horrifying acts. By 1987, their relationship had taken a dark and sinister turn. According to Wood's later testimony, Graham began to speak about ending the lives of elderly patients, framing it as a way to relieve them of their suffering, but also as a dark secret that would bind the two of them together forever. Wood claimed that Graham saw it as a game, a morbid thrill. The plan was terrifyingly simple. They would select frail, elderly female residents, many of whom suffered from Alzheimer's disease, making them unable to communicate what was happening. Graham's method was suffocation, often using a washcloth to cover the victim's mouth and nose. It was quiet, difficult to detect, and often mistaken for natural causes in already fragile patients. For months, their alleged killing spree went unnoticed. The victims were elderly and had complex health issues, so their passing didn't initially raise red flags. Inside the nursing home, however, Graham reportedly grew bolder, bragging to Wood and a few other co-workers about what she was doing. She even began to take small keepsakes from the victims as souvenirs. Wood, by her own account, acted as a lookout, a silent accomplice who stood by while these terrible acts were committed. The deadly partnership began to unravel in 1988, when Graham's relationship with another woman led to her breaking up with Wood and moving to Texas. Feeling betrayed and scorned, Catherine Wood's conscience saw perhaps a desire for revenge got the better of her. She confessed to her ex-husband, who then convinced her to go to the police. In December 1988, the investigation began. It was a complex case, built almost entirely on Wood's testimony, as there was little to no physical evidence. The victims had all been buried, and autopsies at the time were inconclusive. The police investigation culminated in the exhumation of several bodies, but the results were still not definitive. The case would hinge on Catherine Wood's credibility as a witness. In a deal with prosecutors, Wood agreed to plead guilty to second-degree murder and testify against Graham in exchange for a more lenient sentence. She detailed 5 murders, describing how Graham would choose the victims and carry out the acts while she stood guard. She claimed Graham did it for love, power, and excitement. During the trial, Gwendolyn Graham's defense painted Catherine Wood as a manipulative liar, a scorned lover who fabricated the entire story for revenge. They argued that Wood was the real killer, or that no murders had happened at all, and she was simply trying to frame Graham. The jury was faced with a difficult decision: believe the testimony of a confessed accomplice or acquit a woman accused of unthinkable crimes. Ultimately, the jury found Wood's account compelling. In 1989, Gwendolyn Graham was convicted of 5 counts of murder and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder. She was sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Catherine Wood, for her role, was sentenced to 20 to 40 years in prison. She was eventually paroled in January 2021 after serving over 3 decades. The case of Graham and Wood, often dubbed the lethal lovers, serves as a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of those in care and the devastating consequences when trust is betrayed in the most profound way. It highlights the darkness that can hide in plain sight, and the complexities of a justice system trying to piece together the truth from a web of love, lies, and betrayal. Thank you for joining me for this look into a truly disturbing case. If you found this story compelling, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into historical events. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.